Greetings, everyone. I hope you're fine. I hope you are doing well. I would like to appreciate you for taking this moment, this time to watch this video. In this video, we are going to talk about value added tax, which is known as VAT or VAT. Why? It's because here in South Africa, VAT has been increased from 15% to 15.5%. In other words, it has been increased by 0.5%. So it's a daily topic because there are people who are like, we don't know how it works and we don't know how it's going to affect us. And there are those who are like 0.5% is not a huge amount. We should not stress ourselves. But I would like to say when it comes to percentages, that 0.5% might affect you. Even if you are swimming in a pool of millions, it might still affect you. So when it comes to tax, there are many things that we need to consider because how does it affect us? It affects us when we buy certain products, maybe from retail stores, many companies, we buy different kinds of services, maybe online, and etc. etc. It's still gonna affect you. I just want to use this chart to make a demonstration of how this value added tax is gonna affect us, this increment of 0.5%, because right now as we speak, VAT rate here in South Africa is 15%. So now it has been increased by 0.5%. So we have to consider the fact that no matter what, it's still going to affect us. As I've said, even if you're swimming in a pool of millions, it will still affect you. That is why even big companies they reach a point whereby they have to retrench. But I'm talking about those who retrench their employees legally, because there are those who are retrenching because they know that they can bypass the law, they can manipulate the Department of Labor, they can manipulate everyone. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about those who do their things legally. And when they make their calculations, they can see that they have to do something in order for them to survive, in order to keep their companies running. I'm not against value added tax being increased, but I'm like, there are many factors that we need to consider. There are many factors that we need to look at before we can decide to increase the VAT. For an example, let's say you buy a product. I have a product number one here. You buy a product from a retail store, and let's just say maybe this product will cost you 50 rands. This product will cost you 50 rands, and then based on quantity, this is a unit price here, and based on quantity, maybe you want to buy, maybe let's say you want to buy 5. So when you buy 5, then the total price will be 250. Then at a VAT rate of 15%, you have to pay 37 rands 50 cents extra. Then at the end of the day, your total price, the total price that you have to pay for that particular product or that particular item or that particular service now will be 287.50 cents. 287.50 cents. But now let's say the VAT was around 14%. Let's say the VAT maybe was around 14%, because there was a time when the VAT was around 14% here in South Africa. So when the VAT is 14%, you have to pay 35 rands extra instead of paying 37 rands extra. So you see how it affects you, because now when we move to like 15%, when you move to 15%, everything changes. So now you have to pay 37 rands 50 cents extra instead of 35% instead of 35 rands. So now the total amount that you have to pay is 287.50 cents. So now let's say now we have to move from 15% to 15.5. In other words, we have to add this 0.5%. 15.5. So when we add 15.5, the prices are going to change. This price is going to change. This price is going to change. Let's see. So now, instead of paying 37 rands extra, now you have to pay 38 rands 75 cents extra. then the total price that you'll have to pay is now 288.75 cents. So just imagine if you have to buy this product in large quantities, then it means you'll have to pay extra when it comes to VAT. So that's how it is gonna affect you. For an example, let's say maybe you have 3 kids or you have 2 kids, then you have to buy clothes for them and etc. and etc. Then this VAT will catch up with you. Yes, we know these people, we should not like maybe consider them that much, those ministers, the presidents and etc., because they are enjoying themselves. They are enjoying themselves because they also steal the very same money. They also steal the very same tax, and they use it to live a luxurious life and many other things. So we cannot feel sorry for them. But when it comes to the poor, is going to affect them most definitely. Let's move to product 2. I just want to make 3 examples of products and services in this video. It's not going to be long. So let's say maybe there's this other product. Maybe this product is 500 rands. 500 rands. You want to buy maybe only one. You want to buy one. It's going to be 500 plus 15%. Then it means you have to pay 75 rands extra. So now you have to pay 575 currently at the rate of 15%. You have to pay extra 75 rands, then the total is 575 rands. But now let's see what happens if we increase this one from 15% to 15.5, because we have to add this 0.5%. You see now you have to pay like R2.50 extra. R2.50 extra. So the total moves from 575 to 577.50 cents. So just imagine if you have to buy these quantities in bulk or maybe in large quantities, then it means it's gonna affect you, or it will most definitely affect you. And now let's say maybe there's this other product is 25 rands. 25 rands. Maybe you want to buy 3. You want to buy 3 of them. Then when it comes to VAT, you have to pay 11 rands 25 cents extra. In other words, from 75 rands, you have to pay extra 11 rand 25 cents because of this VAT is at 15% right now as we speak. So the total is 86 rands 25 cents. But now let's say we have to add this 0.5%, because this 0.5%, you like it or not, it will still affect you. 15.5%, then 15.5%, then these figures here will change. These figures here will change. You see now you have to pay extra. In other words, this product, for this product now, you have to pay 86 rands 63 cents, when in reality you are supposed to pay like 86 rands 25 cents. You're supposed to pay 86 rands 25 cents, but because now the VAT has increased from 15% to 15.5%, now you have to pay extra from 86 rands 25 cents to 86 rands 25 86 rands from 86 rands 25 cents to 86 rands 63 cents. Then at the end of the day, the total VAT that you need to pay is 127.88 cents. So if maybe this VAT would have not been increased, maybe your VAT would be reduced by maybe 17 rands or 15 rands. So just imagine if you have to buy like a grocery every month, you have to pay electricity bills and all of these things that always add tax, these things that are not exempt from tax. In other words, you will be affected. Even when it comes to these items that are exempt from tax, we have to understand the processing, that in order to process some of those goods, some of those products, you have to use the items that are taxed in order to process those. So that is why they are also affected as well. Then on top of that, we have other companies who are going to take advantage to say, you know what, in order for us to survive, we have to increase our prices like nobody's business, because at the end of the day, we have to pay this VAT. So they will increase their prices abnormally so, but others might be compelled to retrench. So that is why sometimes you ask yourself that you always get an increment annually, but your life is like, it's just a bit stagnant. You are not moving forward, irregardless. It's because of these increments. It can be the prices of foods, items, and services, including VAT as well, is affecting all of us. So if you are working, you regard yourself or you consider yourself as a middle class and etc., and you feel like you are affected, you are a businessman, a businesswoman, you are affected, just imagine that person who is poor, that person who is suffering, that person who is struggling, that person who doesn't have anything. Then it means they are more affected than you. So that is why when it comes to this thing of negotiating, that is why many people or other people or few people are like, no, this is a daylight robbery. So I'm amongst those people who are like, this is a daylight robbery, but we may differ when it comes to our reasons, because I feel like that is not a solution, because they'll keep on increasing it every year or every other year, or maybe after maybe 5 years, 6 years, they'll keep on like adding something there, adding something on VAT, thinking that maybe it will give a solution. I think VAT increment is not a solution right now as we speak, because we still have many other things to deal with when it comes to corruption. Because if you steal the very same tax, then when service delivery is not happening, you may think the problem is VAT, when in reality the problem is not VAT. The problem is you are stealing the very same VAT. You are misusing the very same VAT. You are not using it accordingly. So this is my position, that I'm not against them increasing it, but I'm like, why can't you first deal with corruption, mismanagement of funds, and many other things before you can consider the VAT rate? Because I believe that the VAT rate should be like the last thing that should come in your mind. In other words, you have to deal with corruption. You have to try by all means to reduce the cost. You have to try by all means to, like, these ministers, in other words, you have to do away with their luxurious lifestyle and etc. So in other words, if you want to create luxury, you have to create luxury from your own salary, from your own money. So this is my position. So just imagine you are a pensioner, you earn maybe 350. Even with 350, there's absolutely nothing you can do, because there are items that are exempt from tax. We can talk about maybe maize meal, rice, and many others. They are exempt, but the process that it takes them to be produced, it also is also affected by some of the items or products that are taxed. So that is why at the end of the day, they are also affected. When the prices of foods are increasing, they are also increasing. So just imagine if you earn this 350, it's still going to affect you. It's still going to affect you. So that is why we should not let these people to get away with this. We should not let them to bribe us. It's time for South Africans to wake up from slumber and see this by yourself. So this 0.5%, you may see it as a small amount, but when it comes to percentages, it's very huge. That is why your life is stagnant. Even if you are earning maybe a high amount of money, but your life will be stagnant, because everything is affected by VAT. All the services that that you have to pay for, they are also affected by value added tax. I'm not against it. But I'm like, corruption is too much. We have to deal with corruption first, mismanagement of funds, and other things. I don't know what you think about this. Thank you very much for watching this video to this level.